TalkAlot with TokeAlot is a cannabis-positive podcast. We aim to educate and enlighten the masses on the misinformation and false rhetoric spread by society and mainstream media regarding cannabis consumption. TalkAlot with TokeAlot is recorded in Rochester, New York, where cannabis is recreationally legal. If you're going to consume, please do so safely and within your state's laws and regulations. Thank you. Guess who's back? Back again. Terry's back. Tell your friends. That was really offbeat, but hello, everybody. Welcome to season 3 of TalkAlot with TokeAlot. I am your hostess with the mostest that always gets the stonedest, Terry TokeAlot. And it's been a fucking minute, guys. Damn. So, today, we're going to be going over a little bit of everything, what the goings on have been as of late since the last episode of TalkAlot with TokeAlot, which I know season 2 ended pretty abruptly. Don't worry, I'm gonna get into that. But if you care at all to hear anything about what I've been up to, what's going on in the current world of TalkAlot with TokeAlot, and the new things that I have going on with a bunch of local brands, I guess stay tuned. If not, next episode most likely will be on imposter mom syndrome, which I'm really excited to cover. So if you're just here for the goods, see me next week, I guess. If you want to hear me ramble and you want to have a little sesh with your friend Terry and celebrate season 3 of TalkAlot with TokeAlot, stay tuned, I guess. So, season 2 ended super abruptly, if I'm being quite frank. This is mainly due to, and I'll be really blunt with you guys, I'm not gonna get super into what happened, but I was going through a lot of personal issues, health issues. I was dealing with some personal issues as far as my own life and things of that nature. I was dealing with a bit of a stalker type issue for a little bit, not during the time that I was recording season 2, but just before season 2 started. And I'll admit that that also kind of affected my psyche and recording and the process of and things of that nature. So recording season 2 and the episodes that I did get done was very, very difficult. Very fucking difficult for me, and I won't stress that enough. To be under the amount of stress that I was externally and still to be trying to produce episodes that I was proud of was insanely difficult, and it was pushing me to a point where I was not enjoying my content, which for me felt like if I'm not enjoying my content, who else is? Because if I'm not enjoying it, I how can I post this, but also too, it was just so much, and I didn't want to end up resenting one of the things that I love the most, which is this podcast. So I did what any content creator would do in this situation, and I took a step back because I felt truly at that point in time that that was what was going to serve me best. And I don't know. I will say I missed a lot in my little hiatus and going completely incognito, but it was definitely needed. So during the time of my incognito period, my hiatus, if you will, um, before season 2 ended, I spoke a lot about my boyfriend, Anthony, who is still currently in my life and absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so blessed to have him. And now not only is he my boyfriend, but he's also my business partner. And I have a huge integral part in his business, Higher Intentions. And if you guys haven't drawn, connected the dots, put your yarn strings where they need to go on your little cork board, Higher Intentions is Anthony's business, and I am his social media manager and event coordinator, which I never anticipated nor did I expect for myself, but I'm extremely grateful, and I'm even happier now that like I get to be able to record the podcast there. Now, like I said, like don't get me wrong, like I'm feeling a little nostalgic. It's the last episode of TalkAlot with TokeAlot, and it's original home, like where I painted my little mural and everything. But change is good. Like I said, we like change. Um, so yeah. And now doing the podcast, doing higher intentions things. So that means, running all of the social medias there, running my own podcast social medias, launching the higher intentions pod, which is going to be available very, very soon. And it is going to be the three key members of higher intentions, which is myself, my lovely boyfriend, Anthony, and our close, close friend and, um, literally just like support system for everything, Obi. It is going to be the three of us just blowing it down in higher intentions and shooting the shit and kind of having a good time. Um, it feels so good to be able to bring that into the community and then also be able to take part in making a safe space for the community. So if you guys ever want to get a little extra dose of your favorite hostess with the mostest, I'm always at higher intentions. Um, well, not always, but I'm most of the time I am there. And if I'm not there, Anthony's there, and he's pretty great. I like him a lot. But anyway, higher intentions is definitely a big part of like my hiatus from the podcast, not in a bad way, but in a way of this is only going to elevate what I can do for the podcast and what I can do for the cannabis community. And at the end of the day, the only goal I've ever had for this podcast is to aid in ending the stigma for all cannabis users, whether you're medicinal, recreational, whether you smoke every once in a while, or you're like me and you're somebody who literally wakes up in the morning and like grabs their puff cow. Because, hi, that's me. Um, with that being said, though, like, the break was definitely needed, and I'm very grateful for those of you who have stuck around and still like interacted with the social medias and like interacted with me in person, come out to higher intentions events. Like that's what shows me that at the end of the day, like no matter where I go, this community is exactly that, and it's a community and we care about each other. So I know that this is where I belong and this is my home sweet home. So I'm super fucking happy to be back for season 3. And I just, I cannot wait to share all of the fun shit that I'm going to have planned for us. Like the next episode I alluded to being on imposter mom syndrome. We're getting back to our roots with TalkAlot with TokeAlot this season. Definitely going back on like heavy on like our like mom side of things and like how moms deal with parenting and how we integrate cannabis into our parenting and things of that nature. What this podcast was truly founded on was having the conversations that are difficult to have in order to break down those walls and end the stigma for everyone. So, I am so fucking stoked. We're also going to be covering a lot of true crime because, baby, it has been a fucking year for true crime. Let me just tell y'all. Like, I mean, the boss lady and I, like, even though we have not posted any new true crime content, with that being said, it does not mean that we have ever like ceased to stop recording. I have to like relight my joint and look at that. Talk a lot with TokeAlot trope. Like right there, boom. Gotta relight the joint because I got too busy yapping. Whoop de fucking do. This is the like you guys aren't used to this. This is also part of the reason why I wanted the last episode or the first episode of season 3 to be the last episode in the Talk a Lot with TokeAlot dungeon. Mainly because at higher intentions, We can smoke concentrate inside, which is lovely. You know, I love me some dabs. I love some fat globberoonies. However, can't smoke flower in there, which is fine. I'm not mad at that. Like, at the end of the day, like, Higher Intentions is an apparel store, and concentrate does not have half of the odor. So, I wanted to be able to, smoke one last actual joint with you guys before we head to the Higher Intentions recording space and we're no longer allowed to just like smoke 3 joints in one sitting, which is fine. Like I said, I'm not mad at that whatsoever. It just means I get to smoke a lot of dabs. I'm not mad at that either, so who am I to complain? But lots of true crime stuff. Boss Lady and I are in constant conversation, and we have literally like a list of cases we want to cover. Actually, we are going to be revisiting one of my very first true crime cases before Boss Lady was even involved. And we're going to be revisiting Arthur Shawcross because there have been some developments in that one. And if you guys haven't gone and listened to the very, very first episode that I ever did on Arthur Shawcross, you can't, like, it's totally up to you. I will also say now that TalkAlot with TokeAlot is probably going to show up as 2 different podcasts now, and that is mainly due to, unfortunately, a, I don't even know, I guess I would say a technological error that unfortunately I did not foresee happening. So, instead of wasting my time to re-download every single master, edit all of those masters, and then transfer them to this podcast, or just kind of re-record them completely, I'm just gonna leave it like it is. I'm just gonna leave it like it is, and I'll have 2 fucking podcast links, and it is what it is. At a certain point, the very first episodes, I guess what I could do is I could always just do like a brief recap episode for every single one and call it a day. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All I know is right now I really just wanted to get season 3 started because I fucking miss you guys, and I miss this, and I miss doing what I do best, yapping and smoking weed. That is what I truly do best, and like, you know, it's a gift, really. Are you not entertained? Wow. Anyway, so otherwise, we've covered the Higher Intentions area and all that good stuff. Um, Parenting. As I said, we're getting back to our roots on TalkAlot with TokeAlot. Parenting a soon-to-be third grader and nearly 8-year-old. Man, can I just tell y'all how taxing that is now? I've said this a million times before on the podcast. I don't even have to go back and listen to old episodes to tell you that I've said this a million times. Fucking love my daughter to pieces. Marilyn is the most amazing, bright, talented, loving, caring little girl I've ever met. She wants to hug everybody. Like, literally. Okay, so if you are local to the Rochester area, unfortunately, the homeless epidemic here is not great. On the corner of the intersecting streets near our house, there was a gentleman who was homeless, and the neighborhood, the community around here, took care of him for the most part. And unfortunately, recently he passed away. Now, when I say that prior to his passing, Marilyn and I would drive by, taking her home from school, taking her to school, whatever the case may be, and we would drive by, and every day she'd, oh, mommy, we have to bring him food, we have to bring him something. And like I said, unfortunately, this gentleman passed away recently, and Marilyn was devastated. So, like, when I say she is the most, like, loving, genuine, just, like, sweet creature in the whole world, like, I truly mean it. Like, I'm blessed to have such a sweet daughter. However, she has my fucking attitude, and that is not good. And to top it off, she absolutely adores Anthony, very much her stepfather, and like that is, she calls him daddy, like that is her dad. She loves him to pieces. Um, it's such a daddy's girl, and it's it's a little disconcerting for me, but it's so wonderful to see her have that bond with someone. So, I go back to my previous point. Parenting an 8-year-old is, or well, an almost 8-year-old. Let me not age her because then I'm going to feel way older than I already feel, considering that my oldest niece is 16. She's almost 8. She'll be 8 in October, and she's going into third grade this year. And like, can I just say, she she knows exactly what buttons to press, how to press them, when to press them. Like she is on point. And like maybe that's like, one of those moments where it's like you're reaping what you sow, like you created your own monster type of deal. But nobody ever tells you like how difficult it is to essentially unlearn the toxic parenting behaviors of the generations before us. We're already having some bloopers, and I'm not gonna edit them out for you. This guys. See, I'm batting 100. Jesus Christ. Whoo. Okay, gather yourself, Terry. Anyway. It's gonna be a good episode. I already have to spark my joint again. That's how you know I'm yapping. I just keep having to spark this joint over and over again. We're probably not even gonna get to do a dab by the time I finish yapping, because I'll be completely honest with you guys. It is 11:20 right now as I'm recording this. I've worked a full week essentially, and I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we're still going strong. I'm still smoking, so we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Anyway, nobody talks about how extremely difficult it is to parent and learn new ways to parent after you have yourself dealt with toxic parenting and things of that nature. So, definitely going to be getting heavily back into those topics. Um, I literally said something about bloopers. I was doing so well, and now my mouth is like, haha, you can't English. Have fun. Um, so I had a little like list of things that I was going to follow for this episode. I'm like working my way down them and doing this in classic Terry fashion that I would do this any other time as I record, as talking about the things that I wanted to talk about, covering my little bullet points as one does, but then, peppering in my little rants. And I feel like a dumbass because I mentioned something about bloopers, and now my brain is like, you're gonna fuck up every single word you want to say. I don't care who you are. So, so other than parenting and higher intentions and the typical usual Mad Hatter's fiascos per usual, other than that, the most pertinent things going on would be upcoming events. And I have two upcoming events that I am super excited about. One being the Higher Intentions Art Bazaar Part 3. So we have done, this is our third art bazaar now, and every time we try to do something a little different from other art bazaars. Last time we had our friends from Dark Pearl Tattoo set up, and they were doing flash tattoos for our vendors and patrons. This time we are switching it up a little bit and we are actually having a premium mocktail bar, and that is going to be hosted by Epsilon Glass and the Cataclysm Collective. So we are super duper excited for that. We're also going to have a bunch of friendly faces on the vendor side of thing. If you are a frequent flyer for local events, we definitely did go all out and curate quite the vendor list. Well, vendors, artists, bakers, makers, literally anything and everything you can think of, you can find at the Art Bazaar. So that is June 29th from 12 to 6. Tickets are $10, or bring a friend and you can I see, and this is, I literally said, as soon as I said something about bloopers, here we go. Tickets are $10, or you can bring a friend and get your tickets buy one, get one half off. So instead of paying $20 and meeting your friend there, just bring your friend with you and only spend $15. Save yourself a little money. Anyways, Art Bazaar is definitely one of my favorite days of the month. We try to do one at least once a month. We did two this month, I think, just because we really had so much fun with the last one. But the Art Bazaar is an absolutely amazing event, and every time we host one, I have more fun than I did the last time. So if you're free on June 29th and you want to come down and say hi, you'll see me along with a bunch of other familiar faces if you've been following the TokeAlot podcast fan since our inception. But yeah, then I have to say, this next event I am so fucking excited for a couple of different reasons. One being that this is shaping up to be one of the largest and most amazing events in Western New York's cannabis history, period. The 710 Solventless Cup. Now, this event is going to put a lot of amazing dispensaries and brands on the map, and I am so excited to be taking part in it, not only as TalkAlot with TokeAlot and doing my own thing, but Higher Intentions is also a meteor sponsor. Higher Intentions is a media sponsor. Higher Intentions is a media sponsor of the 710 Solventless Cup. So whether I'm talking on behalf of TalkAlot with TokeAlot or Higher Intentions, either way, both so excited to be on the team of promoters for the 710 Solventless Cup. Wow. Like I said, guys, literally, I said something about bloopers and I cursed myself and I was doing really well. Anyways, so just to give you guys a quick little idea of what the 710 Solventless Cup is all about, there are, I believe it is 6 categories that you can nominate for, and this is all Western New York and sovereign areas. There will be links in the description below and in my link tree, so you can go nominate your favorite brands, including your favorite dab bar. Nobody has to nominate me if they don't want to, but if I got nominated, that would be cool. Either way, I'm going to be documenting the road to the 710 gala event that's being held at the Roaring 420s Lounge in Buffalo, New York. So that should be super exciting, and I'm so fun. I'm so stoked. I can't wait. And I don't know if this is like a situation where I have to wear a pretty dress and stuff, but if it is, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. So, anyways, if you are a processor and you would like your opportunity to be able to get your products into the cup for judging, or if you are a sponsor and you'd like to take part in this event and have your brand name alongside names such as Dab Towels, Skunk Magazine, Mood Mats, and Higher Intentions, I will have links posted in my link tree and in the description below. But otherwise, I think that actually about like wraps it up for today's episode for the season 3 premiere. Like I said, I wanted to keep it light, short, sweet, to the point. You guys got a lot of bloopers. It's probably mostly bloopers, which is fine. I mean, that's kind of on brand for me, right? But anyway, yeah, I think I covered all the things I wanted to cover. So on that note, I have been your hostess with the mostest that always gets the stonedest. Join me next week where we will discuss imposter mom syndrome and the nuances behind that. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Keep blazing, stay amazing. Here's to many more joints, many more dabs, and many more talkings and ramblings and rantings and ravings. Alrighty, I'm gonna sign off. I love you guys. Bye.